It's clear that at the moment we cannot fight with those cars. Penelope came in.
Listen, guys, Red Bull is in serious trouble heading into Monaco, and nobody is talking about what's really going on inside that garage. The RB22 is carrying dead weight, the inner circle is falling apart, and Max himself is questioning everything. Today, we are breaking down 6 things that explain exactly why this Monaco weekend could be the most important race of Verstappen's season and possibly his career. Stay with me because this gets wild. Let's break it down. But before, if you want more updates and news on Max, then hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. The weight crisis nobody warned you about. Hold on. Before we even talk about Monaco's strategy, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the extra 6 to 7 kilograms sitting on the RB22 right now. Sources close to the team confirm that this excess weight is costing Verstappen around 0.2 of a second every single lap. In a sport where a tenth decides a championship, that is absolutely brutal. The RB22 is estimated to be roughly 6 to 7 kilograms over the FIA's mandatory minimum weight limit. And the scary part? Red Bull is already actively trying to put the car on a diet. They managed to strip some mass off the chassis during the Miami Grand Prix, and the engineering department is targeting a much larger weight reduction leap going forward. But here is my honest opinion, trimming weight mid-season without breaking the car's handling balance is like trying to remove bricks from a moving wall. One wrong call and you make everything worse. Red Bull are walking a very thin line right now. Monaco is the worst place to bring a heavy car. Now let's connect this to Monaco, because this is where it gets really interesting. Verstappen himself told media that anywhere it's bumpy is going to be difficult for us, and that the setup philosophy of the car is not quite optimal yet. And when someone asked him directly about Monaco, he literally laughed and said he was going to order a new back because of how rough the ride is. Think about that for a second. Max Verstappen, a guy who has driven through some of the most aggressive setups in F1 history, is joking about his spine. That tells you everything. Monaco offers a very different challenge compared to high-speed venues, and if Red Bull cannot unlock strong low-speed performance, they will struggle to compete at the front. The streets of Monte Carlo do not forgive heavy, stiff cars. They expose every single weakness. The strategy card, Red Bull's only real weapon. So, if the car is heavy and the circuit is brutal, what is Verstappen's actual plan? Strategy. Pure and simple. Verstappen himself said Monaco always depends heavily on strategy, and that getting the best possible qualifying result will be absolutely critical. This is Red Bull admitting out loud that they cannot simply outpace McLaren or Mercedes on raw speed alone. And honestly, I respect that honesty from Max. He is not pretending everything is fine. He knows the situation. The question is whether Laurent Mekies and the pit wall can outthink their rivals when it matters most. Monaco has always rewarded smart strategy over raw pace, and this might actually be the one weekend where Red Bull's desperation becomes their biggest advantage. My opinion, if they nail qualifying and get Max into clean air early, they absolutely have a shot, but one safety car at the wrong moment and it all falls apart. The inner circle is quietly falling apart. Let me show you something that most casual fans are completely missing. While everyone is focused on lap times, the people around Verstappen are leaving one by one. Control systems engineer Michael Manning, performance engineer Tom Hart, and engine engineer David Mart have all informed Red Bull of their exits. It leaves only race engineer Gianpiero Lambiase in place from Verstappen's original core crew. And then came the real gut punch. It was confirmed that Lambiase the voice on the other end of Verstappen's radio messages, better known as GP, will join McLaren as chief racing officer no later than 2028. The guy who has been Max's right hand through 4 world championships is walking out the door. The general feeling inside and outside of Red Bull was clear. Lambiase's move could be the final nail in the coffin in terms of Red Bull's chances of convincing Verstappen to keep racing beyond 2026. This is not just a personnel change, this is the foundation cracking, the wholesome moment that broke the internet. Okay, Let's breathe for a second because not everything this week was heavy. A clip shared on social media showed Verstappen streaming when Penelope interrupted him with some urgent news. The Dutchman later laughed as he explained what had happened, revealing that the interruption came because Penelope had noticed one of her teeth was coming out. I mean, come on. The guy is dealing with a broken car, a crumbling team, contract drama, and then a little girl runs in because she lost a tooth. That moment reminded everyone that behind the helmet, Max is just a guy living real life. Verstappen has previously described himself as a bonus dad, watching Penelope grow up since she was 1 year old. The Orange Army needed that moment this week. The exit rumors are getting louder. Back to the serious stuff because the contract situation around Verstappen right now is impossible to ignore. Reports emerged suggesting Verstappen is considering retirement at the end of 2026, having described his car as undrivable. And with Lambiase gone, Newey gone, Horner gone, and Marco gone, the Red Bull that Max built his legacy with simply does not exist anymore. Among those to have moved on since late 2025 are longtime advisor Helmut Marko, senior technical figure Craig Skinner, and former lead mechanic Matt Kaller. Every single week, another familiar name disappears. My honest take? If Red Bull cannot show Verstappen a genuinely competitive car by the summer, I think he walks. Not retires, walks. Ferrari and Audi are both circling, and Max is not the kind of person who accepts mediocrity quietly. What happens next? So here is where we stand heading into Monaco. Red Bull has a heavy car, a shrinking team, a strategy-dependent race plan, and a driver who is publicly questioning his own future. The upgrades help, the strategy is sharp, and Verstappen is still one of the greatest to ever sit in a cockpit, but the warning signs are everywhere, and the Orange Army deserves to know the truth. My opinion, this Monaco weekend is bigger than just points. It is a statement race. Either Red Bull shows the paddock they are serious contenders again, or the exit door gets a little wider for Max. Now, I want to know what you think. If Lambiase leaves and the car stays uncompetitive, does Verstappen retire or does he move to Ferrari? Drop your answer below. I read every single comment.